Allow me to reintroduce myself for those of you that are new here. I am the outspoken, spiritual smartass of YouTube. That's just who I am at this given point in time. I value openness, vulnerability, authenticity, honesty. There is no topic that I'm too scared to talk about because, in all honesty, there's no fear in my heart. I go against the grain. I call things as I see them. If you're getting butthurt and triggered by something that a random person said on the internet, that just goes to show that you have the emotional maturity of a child. And you need to go check yourself before you wreck yourself. You need to go do some soul searching. You need to go through some self-development. You need to go read some self-help books to toughen you up. You know, I see myself as an example, especially to the young men of the world. Like the modern lifestyle has made a lot of people soft. The men of today are spineless. They can be bought out. They think that their physical achievement means everything, and that's just simply not the case. What's the point of having all these great things, the cars, clothes, houses, women and such, when you have no morals, no principles? That's why I just lead by example. I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but there needs to be these young men that see a very well-spoken, outspoken man in this world that's not scared to go against the mainstream media, that's not afraid to go against the machine, that's not afraid to face the consequences of big tech that wants to censor everybody. It's okay for a young man to be masculine. It's okay for a young man to do push-ups. It's okay for a young man to mark his boundaries when it comes to other men, when it comes to women. Right now they just push pornography, sexualized media, which drains the masculine energy from men. We have men now that have no self-worth. They look at themselves in the mirror and they just see a spineless little pussy. I speak out against that, and I have to lead by example. You know what I'm saying? You have to fight for what you believe in, no matter if you're a man or a woman. I don't care. I'll speak on women's stuff too. Some of y'all are incredibly disagreeable, and y'all gonna be wondering why you're single with 50 cats when you're older in the future. But just like when I touch on these topics, I want men to be strong, but then I like to be balanced. Some of the things that they learn from the manosphere and the red pill world are incredibly toxic and cancerous, and they will further contribute to the loneliness of these men, where they just become, like little slaveholders when it comes to women. They don't value the power of a woman. They don't value the metaphysical as much as the physical. Some of these men are still controlled by their bodies and their urges and the physicality of life, which is, don't get me wrong, there needs to be a balance stricken, but it's like, that's why I preach about the semen retention. It's a very extreme route, but it is a path. It's a rite of passage for a lot of young men, and a lot of men can attest to how powerful they feel, how strong they feel, how they see the world from a completely different level when they go through this passage called semen retention. It makes you look crazy to the world when you say that you don't masturbate, that you don't touch yourself to a bunch of pixels on the screen, aka pornography. You know what I'm saying? You have to be weird. You have to be different. Why would you want to be normal? Normal means average. Normal men get normal results. So I speak for the young men of the world. Also, too, I go against the grain when it comes to everything you're not supposed to talk about. Politics, religions, all this social justice bullshit. Y'all don't realize how COVID really fucked y'all up. A lot of y'all were stuck in the house for 2 years and y'all just got bored and started making up a whole bunch of genders, so because it make you feel less lonely, make you feel more accepted, that instead of you just working on yourself, you're trying to force feed your opinions and ideologies on other people. A lot of us really don't give a shit what you believe in. I don't care if you're queer. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care. What you do in your own life is what you do. And I think there's a lot of us that are in support of that. We don't care what you do. But when you try to control our speech, when you force feed the things that we believe to fit your narrative, and anything that doesn't fit in your little rainbow colored world, it's like you want to demonize us. You want us to go away. You want to hold these signs out that say that you insert name here and all this type of stuff. No, you're just being rude and disrespectful as a human being. And that's all we're trying to say. All the people that you try to cancel end up getting bigger. You try to cancel Jordan Peterson for simply saying you will not control my speech. That's all he said. He's not homophobic. He's not transphobic. A lot of us aren't. We don't care what you do. I'll sit here, have a beer with you. I'll sit here and share a slice of pizza with you. I'll sit here and talk about what we feel about the world with you. I don't care. But when we try to control what comes out of my mouth, that's when we have a problem with it, and you hide behind your little flag and your organizations. I speak against the politics, the lies that are force-fed to us, that blanket our eyes to the truth. Black lives matter, Black lives matter. What happened with that? What came from that? What new rights, what new laws, what new abilities do you have, black man that was running around raising your fist? All these corporations that changed their profile picture to a black fist. What did that do? Nothing. But if as a black man I go against Black Lives Matter, I'm a coon or Uncle Tom. You see, I go against everybody if you're saying stupid shit that you can't back up. Okay, you were so big into this stance and this movement. What came of it? Nothing. That's all I'm pointing out. You see what I'm saying? We live in a world now, as this jet's about to fly over me, we live in a world now that's completely controlled. You can't talk about certain things without the fear of being canceled, without being silenced. And that's just simply not me. I'm not even gonna let this jet silence me. I'm not gonna let some nerd with a computer silence me. That's not how this works. I'm gonna say whatever it is I want to say because I have the right to. Just like how you have the right to scream and protest and do all this stuff that ultimately means nothing at the end of the day, well, I'm going to be that loser that sits here on my phone and speaks my truth to the world. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I might be of the 1% that go against the grain, but that 1% finds a unified voice with me. I lead by example. I do what I want to do. I say what I want to say. I go against everybody and anything that I don't agree with. And even if I do agree with, I look to see what the other side is talking about. I don't want to be one-sided, but if the other side, if the opposition is spitting a whole bunch of bullshit that they can't substantiate, that they can't back up, then why would I align myself with that ideology? There's so many young people today that don't think for themselves anymore. Their phone, it does the thinking for them. The headlines do the thinking for them. Everything is thought by them because they're too lazy to read an article. They're too lazy to sit down and listen to long form media. They want the clips. They want the shorts. And that's how they formulate their entire opinion about the world, taking all these clips out of context. They don't understand the power of clickbait. They think that they have the freedom of speech, but that's because you ain't talking about nothing. If you think that you have the freedom of speech, you aren't talking about anything important. I was having a conversation with my grandma. Hi, Granny. You know, I was talking to my grandma, and she asked me like a really potent question. She said, when did you become so outspoken? You know, because I was always the quiet kid. Even though I was very observant, I kept my opinions to myself. Like I said many a times, I've always been an intellectual rebel. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I answered her with saying, when I got my first video taken off of YouTube, when I experienced censorship for the first time, that's what really woke me up. A lot of y'all believe something because you were only shown one side. And repetition is the key to learning. So you were only shown one side over and over and over and over again. So for those of you that don't go outside and touch the grass, you think that's reality. Because a lot of y'all can't go anywhere without your phones. A lot of you can't go anywhere without taking pictures and putting it to your Instagram. You can't do this. We are literally watching society degrade in front of us, where women think that their only value is OnlyFans. And then they try to justify it. These beautiful, beautiful 19, 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old women have become prostitutes by default. They're not even doing it just out of survival. They're doing it by default. And they don't understand that cheap money gives you a cheap life. Sure, you made 100 grand by selling your feet. Sure, you made 200 grand by putting your pussy online. Congratulations. Explain that to your daughter, because what goes on the internet is permanent. You know, even though I'm very outspoken, and sure, I've had some hot takes that I've had to walk back, but at least I was speaking my honest truth. At least if I show my child this, it wasn't too crazy. I just got a little ahead of my, I got too big for my britches. But you popping your pussy and shaking your titties on camera, explain that to your daughter when you get older. Tell her to have pride and valuing herself. You know, we are called sexist and misogynistic as men when we say that you've cheapened yourself as a woman when you put your naked new body up there for money. As another jet flies by, we're talking right through it. I'm not starting over. But seriously, we're called sexist and misogynistic when we call you out for being a prostitute on the internet. You know, we as men want you to challenge yourselves. We as men are strong men. And some of us, crazy enough, contrary to red pill manosphere belief, we want you to be strong, powerful women that we can be proud of. A lot of men, hate to break it to you, are not proud of a woman that has to put her titties out there for attention. Some of these e-girl Twitch streamers, they might be really good at the video game, but why do they have to put their titties in the screen? Some of you female fitness models and influencers out there, the first thing you do is put your butt in the screen. So you couldn't just, hey, we're going to do a glute workout today. Hey, we're going to do a workout. No, you start off with your ass cheeks in the screen. Come on, fam. And you don't find that to be cheap? You don't find that to be lame to do? No. But like I know, a lot of men always get wrong. Yeah, get them. No. Some of you men out here be the first ones wasting your lives in their comment sections, calling them whores and harlots. Oh, you whore, look at you. No, what happened to cool, calm, and collected? You got so emotionally bothered that you had to go into that woman's profile spreading a whole bunch of rhetoric. I see why they come against these MGTOW guys. Some of you MGTOW guys are fucking losers. Yeah, MGTOW, right, guys? Man, fuck you, dog. You just looking for a whole bunch of other lonely ass dudes. And I know about loneliness, but I turn it into a strength. You want to bring people down to your level, and that's just not the move. You have that much time on your hands to go into a woman's comment section and spread some hateful shit. Why don't you go out and just make your own life better? Why doesn't the world, bringing it back to everyone, go out and listen to some audio books? Go listen to long form content. Go raise your attention spans. You know what I'm saying? Why is everyone so close-minded out here? It'd be the Christians out here. I love picking on Democrats and Christians. The Christians be the ones that I love Jesus. Jesus died for my sins. But all you're doing is hating thy neighbor. What happened to love thy neighbor? But when your neighbor has a difference of opinion, when your neighbor has a different definition of God, when your neighbor has a different definition or understanding of Jesus or the words of Jesus, you want to fight them. You want to shun them. You want to, I'll pray for you, as if you are the high moral capacity of the world. Maybe they have a different perspective that you can simply just implement into your own life. I'm just saying, didn't Jesus say love everybody? Didn't Jesus say practice understanding? So why are you being so close-minded? Why are you listening or not listening? Why are you not taking heed to your prophet? But then y'all get mad. You say, if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell. Well, let's see. This is 2023 AD. So what happened to zero and everything before Jesus, before Christ? 1500 BC, 2000 BC, before Christ. Did all of them just go to hell because they never heard the word of Jesus? Wait, it's almost like some of y'all have been stuck in this little brainwashed pulpit that is modern day Christianity, where if you don't put your $20 in the collection plate, you're going to hell. Everything is hell. Everything is going to the devil. I'm like, well, damn, how do you get to heaven if everything you do and say takes you to hell automatically? Hold on, this whole religion, hell, what is it that y'all are worshiping? I'm just asking questions for a friend. And the thing is, a lot of y'all can't justify anything that I'm saying. I'm just using common sense. These jets are getting really freaking annoying, and I'm not starting over. You will not silence me. But anyway, I'm just asking questions for a friend. A lot of y'all's religions are just belief systems. Belief systems are exactly that. Systems of belief. Systems that lead you to live a good life. If you're playing the Xbox, if you're playing the PlayStation, if you're playing the PC or the Wii U, I don't care, the Nintendo Switch, those are all systems that you're playing the same exact game on, but you get mad when someone's playing a Nintendo Switch, when someone's playing the PS5. How dare you, Xbox is better. It's just a hunk of plastic with a few little lasers in it. That's all it is. So your book is just a different book with different wisdom in it. Some of y'all don't even know that your book, screw it, we're going there. A lot of y'all's books have been so doctored and changed up that they don't even have the original meanings anymore. Go look at the new King James Version, the King James Version. This is the book of God, the word of Jesus, whatever words you choose to use. And this man named King James just stamped his name on top of that, and y'all didn't even want to question that.
Y'all don't find that strange? You don't find that weird? Some of y'all are so closed-minded in your Christian beliefs that you see someone of Muslim religion or whoever, when in Islam and whatever, when they get down, roll their rug out, and they're bending down, praying to their God and such, and you go, oh, look at them. Oh, look at them praying to God in this weird way, praying to a false God. How are you going to call a whole religion that existed before Christianity, I do believe, don't quote me on that, you calling the religion that existed before your religion praying to the false gods? I don't understand. I don't get it. You know, it'd be the Christians that be the first ones to kill somebody. It'd be the people that show up to church every Sunday, can't tell you not one thing that the preacher just talked about, not one scripture y'all talked about. But you, the Christians, though, when someone shows up to your door, and they say, let me in, and you're the real Christian, right? But you won't let them in because that's a stranger. But doesn't it say, okay, I'm just saying. Y'all get scared when people like me, and y'all know the spiritual people, y'all up next. I'm going to everybody's neck. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all get mad when someone says that I am God. And you, that's blaspheming in your world. But in your own book that half of y'all didn't even read, it says that the Father and I are one. And aren't we all children of God? Doesn't that make Jesus our brother? So why is Jesus so special when, of course, and I say this all the time, please fight me on this, when he said, call not the works that I do good, the works and greater that I do, ye shall do also. So he said that we can do everything he does, but y'all too busy worshiping him. When he said it himself, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't do this shit. I just go up to the Father and he does everything through me. But did y'all just miss that? In the words of Eddie Griffin, it don't matter what he said, what she said, whatever. Did you get the message? Y'all want to sit here and fight over the little semantics where all I'm trying to preach is everyone start loving each other. Everyone just do what makes you happy in your world and don't worry about what the person next to you is doing. Stop trying to force feed everybody's opinion to fit into your world. You're not going to agree on everything. Get the fuck over it. We got over here the spiritual conscious community. Oh, I abide by the light. Oh, you're so low vibrational. I pity you. Excuse me? You're so understanding and open-minded and open-hearted, living from your heart chakra. You've risen above your lower chakras, and now you abide in the crown and the throat and the third eye. Your third eye open, bro. But all you do is sit here and judge people. All you do is spend all of your time looking for a fight. So you want to prove how spiritual you are. You want to prove how much more you know. Instead of just teaching and letting people take what they want and run with it, you want to prove how much better you are than other people. But you're so spiritual, right? Because you're wearing your little fancy little crystals. You know, because you have a different understanding of hair. You think you're better than other people. You think you're higher up than other people. Now, don't get me wrong. There's levels to this shit. Of course, the person that kills for fun, the person that hurts people, the person that touches these little kids, the person that does all this heinous shit in the background. Yes, I think we all can agree, no matter what background you exist in, we are above those fucking idiots. And those are the people that need to get the hell up off of this planet. You know what I'm saying? By any means, if you catch my drift. You know, you find out somebody's touching your little cousin, your little brother, your son, your daughter. You find out someone's touching and molesting they need to get up out of here by any means necessary. You know, but y'all be acting like, you know, we in the spiritual conscious community. Oh, we're so awake. We're awakened. And now that makes us better. No, you're a baby too. We're all babies. We're all babies learning and sitting in the bosom of the infinite. Your God is no better than anybody else's God. Your ideologies are no better than anybody else's ideologies. You are a sinner when you miss the mark, when you miss the point of life. That is the original definition of the word sin, to miss the mark. It's an archery term. When you miss the mark, you're missing the point of life. To be happy, to be fruitful and multiply, to be abundant. You are sinning. You're a born sinner. I don't know how you're a born sinner. You don't control nothing, but that's up for debate. That's open to interpretation. You know, but you are a sinner when you're being hateful, when you're inflicting pain on others. Sure, is it all a part of life for you to learn and grow? Yeah. But you're missing the mark when you realize that you're separating yourself from nature, when you're separating yourself from God, when you're separating yourself from your fellow man, when you're not coming together, when you're not joining together to make things better in the world. That's sin. That's missing the mark. The Muslim man, the Buddhist man, the Sikhist man, the spiritual man, the atheist can all come together to make the world better. You don't have to believe in the same God to realize that the pharmaceutical industry is a bunch of scammers. So you mean, my friend just told me a story. And she was getting tested for not like tested for diabetes, thinking she has diabetes, but they were just testing her blood sugars and stuff like that. And they give her sugar water to drink so they can test how her body handles glucose and this type of stuff. Y'all do know sugar is more addictive than heroin, right? You do know that it's sugar that strips the bones of nutrients that keeps your bones healthy, right? Where do you think cavities come from? You eat sugar, you eat candy, you drink these carbonated drinks and sodas and such. That's what wears your teeth down. That's sugar. When you wear your teeth down, you get to go to the dentist. You don't change the bad habit that took you to the dentist in the first place. No, you just fix the problem. Oh, you treat the problem. You don't fix nothing. They don't cure nothing. Some of you believe that, I believe in the science. I used to believe in the science too until I realized that the science is simply delayed. The science is only discovering, it's only uncovering something that nature itself has already mastered and perfected. But we think we're so smart when we have these degrees, when we think that, science says, where's your peer-reviewed article? Your peer-reviewed article? You do realize that the Catholic Church held back their followers for centuries, right? By suppressing information and only keeping that under the Vatican and such, right? Do you know what's going on at the Vatican? Do you know? But keep on calling this man on earth thy father when it says it in every damn book, every religious book, whether you're Catholic, Christian, or whatever. Call no man on earth thy father. But what do you call your pastor? What do you call the Pope? Oh, Father, forgive me. Oh, Father, I have sinned. I'm just saying, I don't have to be a theologian. I don't have to be a religious science person to say, but it said that and you did that. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm coming at everybody's necks. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that a lot of people, they hide behind science. But are you the scientist? Are you going out here and performing the experiments? Are you the one going out here? So you're just trusting somebody else's word because you're too lazy to actually conduct said experiments. You're waiting for some qualified individual. Go look at the history of colleges. Look at who some of these colleges are named after. What college did those people go to? When in college, if you're not a business major, when in college did they teach you how to do taxes? When did they teach you about the unelected officials that are in our government? I mean, there are people that are appearing before the Senate right now that will not define the word woman. Wow. Interesting. And I go on that mini rant, that mini tangent, to just touch on a few topics that just swirl throughout my head. No one is safe. I'm not saying I'm right about everything. I'm not saying I know everything. I'm just saying I got some questions that a lot of these thought leaders, a lot of these religious leaders cannot answer. They won't answer. Y'all are still waiting for your president to come save you. Oh, I voted for him because I thought he was going to do this and this and this and this. How much do y'all feel like getting lied to? Who abolished slavery? What go do your Googles. What political party abolished slavery? I'm just asking questions for a friend. Go do your research. You got Joe Byron over here, can't remember how to wipe his own ass, and y'all are looking to him to be your leader. Why are you letting one man dictate your entire life? If you want something done in your community, you go organize that front in your community. You go do it. Stop waiting for this guy that's never met you and you'll never meet him in person. Stop waiting for him to come fix things. Stop letting the media tell you what to think. You think for yourself. I voted for this guy and he said he was going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Did he do any of that yet? Well, wait, he cut off the pipeline. Wait a minute. Wait, he sent $40 billion to another country across the world, which is a child trafficking hub of the world, but we're not going to talk about that. He sent all that money over there, but that $40 billion could have been used for our infrastructure. Wait, hold on. Wait, and Carrot Man gets indicted. But once again, these politics don't teach you nothing if you don't go do the research on your own. You stop waiting for people to hand you the information. You go find it yourself. What y'all, once again, I've been talking about this over and over and over. We're not going to talk about the de-dollarization of the dollar. You know, the world is moving away from the petrodollar. When all that money that's been floating around in the world all comes back to us, there's this little business term called, what's it called? Some complicated shit. Oh yeah, supply and demand. When we have all the supply and no demand, that lowers the value of it. So things are about to get very expensive here. But don't worry, in July, they'll come up with the central bank digital currencies. That's going to be the new form of slavery. They can control how much money you spend, how much you get. They can track everything that you spend your money on. And if you're buying a whole bunch of things they don't like, they can just cut your money off. And you don't even know what's happening because you're too obsessed with Carrot Man getting indicted. The truth will be revealed one day. And once again, I just said all these things, all of these unpopular opinions to just get people thinking. Think, people, in the words of Eddie Griffin. Think, people, it's not illegal. Yet. To the next one, I'm out.